In the most anticipated game of the round between last season finalists, j.t.d defeated Crvena Zvezda iz Zagreb's Sportova. Budućnost had no trouble defeating Mega and Morača, which gave them a nice lead at the top of the table. Partizan defeated Igokea in the most efficient game of the season, and Morar took the win against Olimpija in thrilling finish. As always, we end our show with 5 best plays of the round. Welcome to ABBA magazine. Cibona was quick to replace Langston Hall with Jamal Young. Basketball fans from the region will remember the 30-year-old American as Crvena Zvezda player from 2010 and Široki's player. Young has already worked with his new coach Slobodan Subotic in Sporting Al Raed Beirut last year. Zadar also brought in American reinforcement when Joshua Bostic arrived to the Adriatic coast. This versatile player has experience in European competitions. He spent the previous season in Italy with Juve Caserta Basket, and before that he played in Latvia, France, Belgium and Russia. He has signed with Zadar for the whole season. The match of the round was the dramatic repeat of last year's playoff final, in which j.t.d defeated Crvena Zvezda 79-74 iz Zagreb's Sportova. Juris Dov's men ended a series of 7 defeats against the Belgrade rival, as well as a series of 4 defeats in the regional competition and Euro Cup. In this thrilling game, the red and white team suffered their second ABBA League defeat in a row. Olimpijević men started the game on a higher note. With excellent 3-pointer percentage, shooting 4 in 9 in the first quarter, the guests formed a 5-point lead. j.t.d was opened when Musa and Joson entered the game. The Croatian champion leveled the game, and with a 12-2 run at the beginning of the second quarter, they take the biggest lead in the game, 31-22. ABBA League champion didn't take too much time to fight back. As we have already seen against Barcelona, Ročasti and Bjelica took the lead. The result was tied at the end of the first half, and after the game resumed, it was played point for point. The Belgrade club took the lead for the final time, a minute and a half before the buzzer. The winner of the first ABBA Super Cup scored the next 8 points from a free throw line, where Stepanović and Nichols were infallible. Zvezda couldn't manage to mount a decent attack from team from Zagreb, grabbed all the points. In a very tight game with a great number of free throws, j.t.d got the edge thanks to rebounds and 5 turnovers less than their opponent. The young Dženan Musa was once again the MVP of the game. He scored 17 points, 3 more than Murphy. With 13 points, Chris Johnson played his best game since he joined the team. He was 1 rebound away from a double-double. For the defeated team, Ročasti scored 18, Bjelica 12, while Antić and Feldin finished the game with 11 points each. After 4 triumphs, Budućnost Voli is all alone at the top of the standings. In this round, they defeated Mega 84-64 in Morača Hall. This is the fifth consecutive win in all competitions for the team for Podgorica. After a weak spell at the very beginning, when they scored only 1 in 9 shots, Aleksandar Džikić men took the lead and didn't let it go until the end of the game. The guests couldn't fight their stride. They finished the game with a 30% field goal percentage and couldn't make a difference, not even their 14 rebounds. The teams were quite leveled at the beginning of the game, but that changed at the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second, when the home team had a 18-2 run which put them in the lead for the first time. Dejan Milović's team wasn't giving up, but they didn't have enough players who excelled and make a difference. Their attack relied solely on the marvelous Dylan Ennis, who was the best in his team with 23 points. The home team left for halftime with a 9 points advantage. When the game resumed, the guests reduced the lead down to 3 points several times. However, Nikola Ivanovic stepped in to stop mega advance. This seemed to break the spirit of the young team, and they seemed unfocused in the final quarter, making a number of fouls and turnovers. Budućnost took advantage of this to finish the game with 20 points difference. The experienced point guard Nemanja Gordić was excellent once again. He was the MVP of his team with 17 points. Ivanovic finished the game with 1 point less, 4 assists and 2 steals, with a perfect free throw percent 11 from 11. We were treated to a record-breaking game in Aleksandar Nikolić Hall. Partizan and Gokeja managed to score 221 points combined in a regular game. The home team reached their third win in a row with a score 111-104. The stats are very impressive, especially for the winning team. Miroslav Nikolić's team had a 70% two-point percentage with 11 three-pointers, 27 team assists and only 4 misses out of 28 free throws. The fans were treated to a number of stellar performances. On the one side, there were William Goss and Miller, and on the other, there were a former NBA champion Doyle Wright. There was nothing to indicate what a massive game this will be during the first quarter. The home team started a slightly better, but Coach Bajić men turned the odds in the favor with a run of 8 unanswered points. The guests kept the lead through the second quarter. The champions of Bosnia and Herzegovina held the biggest difference in the game, 9 points. After Marinković was successful for a distance, the score was 50-50 at the half-time. The game continued in the same manner, with an inspired attack at the both ends. The team from Aleksandrovac held on to the lead, but a series of points decided the winner mid-third quarter. The home team scored 17 unanswered points in 4 minutes, and they held their opponents off all the way through the final quarter. In his best senior game to date, Nigel William Goss was the MVP of the winning team. He scored 30 points with 12 out of 15 field goals, 4 rebounds and 8 assists. But that wasn't enough to be named the MVP of the game. The honor went to Patrick Miller, who finished the game with 23 points, 11 assists and 5 rebounds. Šalić scored 16 points, 1 point more than Andrić and 2 more than Vanja Marinković. In Železnik FNP won against Zadar 91-76 and made their second victory in a row and third in total in new season. Both teams entered the game nervously, so after half of the first period, score was 4-4. FNP took the lead after Petar Rakićević scored 3 points, and after Borja Simanić was precise from a free throw line, they took 8-point lead at the end of the second period. In the team of Zadar, newest addition to the Croatian team, Josh Bostic had some great minutes. In the first half of ABA debut, he scored 17 points with 3 successful three-pointers. And after he made free throw in the second period, Zadar got their first lead, 43-41. Michael Ojo from FNP opened the third period. Home team used few of his offensive rebounds and points to take over the lead 48-45 after Ojo scored under foul. Luka Božić played an excellent third period with 10 points and 4 points in the run gave Zadar 60-57 and 63-57 after Božić assists Knowles for 3-point shot. Visitors last held the lead after just 4 minutes of last period after Knowles scored from a free throw line for 67-66. After that, FNP made a 9-0 run with 7 points from excellent Simanic and other 2 points were scored after a slam dunk from Ojo. Zadar managed to get to 77-72, but after that Radanov scores and the behind of back pass assist Nenadic for 82-72 after a free throw. Visiting team wasn't able to get close for the rest of the game, so in the last minute FNP increased their lead. Bostic scored 21 points, which made him MVP of the visiting team, while Božović scored 18 points and had 9 rebounds. In the winning team, Čović and Radanov scored 15 points each, Simanic added another 14, while Ojo had a double-double of 11 points and 12 rebounds. Mornar players in dramatic and low-scoring game won against Petro Olimpija in small hall of Tivoli Sports Center. Score was 67-64. Home team coach Gašper Nokorn couldn't count on two playmakers, Betel and Barabić. Champion of Slovenia started the game better and took the lead after easily scoring of Kastrati from transition and with great play of Radulović from the paint. Team from Bar was led by Nidam and Luković, but after end of the first period, home team had 2-point lead. Score was 20-18. In the second period, we saw a lot of misses on the both ends, and Mornar scored just 2 points in 5 minutes from the period. Olimpija used that to take the lead to 6 points. Mihailo Pavićević's team got the back to the game after 3-point attempts made from Nidam and Mičević, so at the end of the first half, they had lead 31-28. In the second half, we saw much more dynamic and quality game. Visiting team made a 7-2 run and got to 9 points at the half of the third period. At that moment, league MVP Jordan Morgan started playing great for team from Ljubljana and he was joined by Damien Oliver, but the team from Montenegro had 7-point lead at the start of the last period. Home team made a run at the very beginning of the fourth period and got within -2, after which team exchanged leads and less than 10 minutes from the end of the game, Olimpija took the lead. Score was 60-58. Derek Needham scored 2 free throws and gave lead to Mornar 64-63 with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Olimpija had offense and Roko Baim was fouled, but he scored only once from the free throw line, so the score was 64-64. With just 2.3 seconds left, Mihailo Pavićić asked for timeout, after which Nemanja Vranješ scored an incredible 3-point shot with the sound of buzzer and gave Mornar their second win of the season. In the last game of the round, Cibona won against MZT in Jane Sandanski Hall in Skopje. Final result was 83-76 for Slobodan Suporić team and was so a debut of former Crvena Zvezda player Jamar Young, who came as a replacement from Langston Hall. Beginning of the game was marked by Bojan Trakovski, who in a short time managed to score 10 points. Cibona got the attacking rhythm when Žorić and Tomas got in the game, so first period was finished 22-22. Champion of Macedonia made 7-0 run at the beginning of the second period, but after timeout visiting team once again returned to the game. Cibona didn't have a solution for Bojan Trakovski, while on the other end, Žorić made a lot of problems for the tall players. Alexander Todorov's team, via Trajkovski, made another run for their biggest lead, 8 points. 2 shots were made by Tomas, while Balinovac and Bošnjak scored 1 each for 14-0 run and third lead to his team. Scored at halftime was 46-46. In third period, we saw point-for-point game. Cibona offense was led by Tomas and Žorić, while MZT was led by Garcia and Stojanovski. Vice champion of Croatia entered the crucial period with +2. 67-65. In fourth period, MZT had a lot of problems with offensive plays, which Sibona used, and after layup by Thomas, got their biggest lead, 9 points. At that moment, Tragovski once again took responsibility and brought a dramatic finish to this game. Bulgarian international Jordan Minchev made few mistakes in the finish of the game, and thanks to experienced Thomas and Zoric, got their second win in the row and made a great intro for the next game against Partizan. Most efficient player in the third loss of MZT was Trakovski with 25 and Lalic with 17 points, while in the winning team, those were Zoric with 25 and Thomas with 22 points. MVP of 5th round of ABA League is coming from the most efficient team of the round. Patrick Miller and William Goss led Partizan to impressive 117 points against Igokea. American guard ended the game with 23 points, missing only one shot from the free play and another from a free throw line. He has 11 assists and 5 rebounds. Miller managed to get 40 index points, earning an honor as MVP of the round.